You see me?
I can see you. Can you see us?
Yes, I can.
All right. Hi, Liz.
Hey, Megan, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And your class.
Yep, this is the 7th grade class. Wonderful. Yeah.
7th grade class.
Awesome.
It's nice to meet you guys. You're in good hands with Mrs. Naderhoff.
Yes.
But I'm sure you knew that already.
Yeah.
So my name is Liz, and I went to high school with Megan a while ago already. It's crazy.
10 years,
We're coming up on 10 years. And we went to college together in Iowa, in Sioux Center, Iowa. And then, she stayed in Iowa, and I moved to Canada, and I've been here now 6 years. And I'm a permanent resident. I had to apply to become a permanent resident, and now I'm going to apply for citizenship. So I'm hopefully going to be a dual citizen of both the U.S. and Canada.
Cool. Very cool.
Well, that's just a little about me. I don't know if Megan wants to give a little intro or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Today we have 2 kids absent, so what we're going to be doing is I have it recording, so I'm going to post it up on Google Classroom. That way that they can watch it when they kind of get back.
Cool. Awesome technology.
Yeah, awesome. It's this group is the guinea pig. We're going to try it out.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Yes, I know, Yvonne. I know. All right, so the kids have come up with a bunch of questions, and what I'm going to have them do, is say their name before they ask the question. They'll kind of wave at you to see where they're at, and we'll be good to go. We have about a half hour, so we'll kind of keep things moving. You good?
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so number 1.
Hi, my name is Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm a student, just like you guys. I'm studying occupational therapy. Has anyone heard of it? It's kind of like physical therapy. So we do some work if people have had an accident or an injury. We can make splints, or we can do some like rehab and get them doing better so that they can do the things that they want to do. So I have 2.5 weeks left, and I'm counting down the days.
Good job.
Exciting.
Guys.
And what does your husband do?
And he is also a student, but kind of not. He's a medical resident. He's studying neurology. Do you guys know what neurology is?
Yes.
Absolutely. Study of the nervous system. And boy, is it complex.
I want to do it.
For instance, the left side of your brain controls the right side of your body. It's crazy.
And what province do you live in?
I live in Alberta. So,
Yes.
to give you a context of where that is, it's above Montana.
And then what city do you live in?
Calgary. I'm sure you guys have heard of Calgary, yeah?
Yeah, we had yesterday.
Yeah. So the Olympics were here in 1988.
Oh, cool. That was like when I was born. While ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that, but okay.
Yeah, while ago, fun. Great, good.
I know what it was.
Very good.
Thanks.
Here's number 2. No, just do the number 2.
I'm Gracie. Hi. What time zone are you in?
So you guys are in Central Time Zone, right? Which I appreciate Megan explaining on the message. We're in Mountain Daylight Time, so it's only 8:10 here.
So it's an hour before.
Yeah.
That's what it's like in Colorado.
Yeah.
I used to live in Colorado. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, similar to Colorado. And then if you go even further west of us to Vancouver, they're on 1 hour ahead of us, and that's probably Western time. I don't know, actually. I shouldn't know. I don't know.
Okay, good. Who's number 3?
I'm Carter, and what major cities are near you?
So I'm in Calgary, and the next major city would be Edmonton, and Edmonton's actually the capital of Alberta. And to the west of us, we have Vancouver. I'm sure you guys have heard of Vancouver before.
Yep.
Yeah. And then to the east of us, we have Saskatchewan, so Saskatoon. That one's a little less known, but
Yeah.
Those are the major ones, I'd say.
Very good.
Yeah.
Who's got number 4?
My name is Erica. What languages are spoken in your area?
Mostly English, but Canada does a lot of French speaking as well, but mostly in like Quebec, the province of Quebec, which is to the east side of Canada. But they learn French for like 2 to 3 years in high school, like how we learn Spanish in the States. Yeah, because you guys will probably take Spanish in high school, right?
Yeah.
I already speak Spanish, so.
Oh,
Hola.
ese bien.
¿Cómo
Está
estás?
español.
¿Cómo está la temperatura en allá en Canadá?
Sí.
¿Qué pasa?
Okay, good. Good stuff. All right, number 5. Awesome.
It's me again. My name's Yvonne, and my question is, do you and/or other people's job require you to be multilingual?
No, some jobs do. If you're a teacher in Canada, it's good to be multilingual. And if you want to work for like the government, I think it's probably mandatory. I know at the airports also speak both French and English, because when you go into the airport, they're like, Bienvenue à Canada, and they'll say bonjour. So I'm assuming that they have to speak French. And if you work for like Parks Canada, so if you've heard of like Banff National Park and Jasper, then they will often speak French as well. So, but for my job, I won't have to speak French. In fact, I'm sure my Spanish will come in handy every now and then.
Bueno.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Ivan.
All right, who's it? Number 6.
Hi, I'm Maddie. Are there any different traffic laws or like rules?
We have a lot of traffic circles. Do you guys have a lot of traffic circles in the U.S.?
Are you talking roundabouts?
Yeah.
We have like 7 of them.
Oh, okay. We have quite a few of those. I definitely don't really like those. I find them confusing, but traffic laws are pretty standard. But as far as how fast you can go, that's a little bit different. So the U.S. is in miles per hour, and in Canada we're in kilometers per hour. And so there's 1.6 kilometers to 1 mile. So if you think about it, if you go 25 miles an hour, which is like what your mom or dad are driving through like a residential housing kind of neighborhood, that's 40 kilometers per hour and 25 miles per hour. So that's a little bit different. So I just had to get used to that when I moved here, to get used to the kilometers. But traffic is pretty similar. Red still means stop. Green means go.
Like,
Yeah.
do you drive on the right side?
Yep, drive on the right side.
I didn't know.
Totally, that's right. There's a lot of bicycle paths. So it's fun because there's a lot of bicycle paths. So the bicycles will actually have their own light system as well. And they'll have their own little mini road, which is kind of cool. It's great because I love to ride my bike. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, number 7.
Hello, I'm Ben. What is the legal age to drive?
The legal age is 14 as well, I believe. And then it's kind of the same process. They have to get their learner's permit, and I think then they have to get something at 16, and then after that they have to do one more thing to get their full license, which I think is a little different than the States. Because I know my husband only just got his full license like 2 years ago. So, yeah.
Alright, cool. Number 8.
Hi, Gracie again.
Hey, Gracie.
Do you know why Ottawa is your capital and not Toronto?
Yes, I Googled this because, well, I asked my husband Theo, and he wasn't sure. So something that's kind of interesting I find is like in the U.S. we learn our history so well, and we have it's such an awesome history, and just like I know sometimes history isn't so fun to study, but just like appreciate your country and like the history behind it, and that we know it and that we have it documented, because it's really amazing. And like, yeah, just to see how we developed as a country is pretty special. And that hit me when I was reading how they chose their capital. So I'll just read it. On December 31 in 1857, so just before the Civil War in the States, Queen Victoria chose Ottawa to be the capital. And it used to be like a small logging town, which is like quite a industry within Canada. And it's funny, she debated between Toronto and Montreal. So there's a theory that she just put a pin in the map between the two and said, we're going to Ottawa. So that's what made me think, it's like if they have a theory for how the country developed, I mean, that's cool, but it made me very appreciative for our history and our heritage. And I think, I want to inspire you guys to, enjoy what you're learning about the U.S. It's really cool stuff. And Canada and the world. But as Americans and as a responsibility and patriotism to our country, it's cool.
Wait, do you like America or Canada better?
Pardon?
Do you like America or Canada better?
Oh man, I can't even answer that. I like them both the same, I'll say.
Same
There are
answer.
good things about both and bad things about both. And I truly love both countries and hope to be a part of both.
Sup, it's Maddie again. When you look out your window, what landforms do you see?
Yeah, so I'm trying to pull up some things on my phone. So most of Alberta is prairies, so it looks a lot like Iowa, which I love. But if you drive 1 hour west, you'll go to the Rocky Mountains, which are the same chain that goes through Chicago, the same chain that goes through Colorado, and it goes up north. And it's the Rocky Mountains, so that's just west. And so primarily, I don't know how much you guys know about mountains and rock formations, but it's pretty amazing because millions of years ago, these mountains were underwater, and the decay of plants and animals creates limestone, and the mountains are primarily made of sedimentary rocks. Have you studied about that? Yep, so they're made of like limestone rocks. Primarily, so it's cool. So some of the rocks, when I go hiking, I try to find some fossils, and you can find some sea stars and feather stars, and from the animals that used to be in the water, which is pretty cool. So and there's some glaciers as well, and glaciers are just big chunks of ice basically, and then so there's a lot of rivers as well. I'll show you a picture. So this is about an hour and a half away from our house.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see.
Yeah. So and there's a really cool mountain called Mount Assiniboine. Assiniboine, yeah. And it's called. Have you guys heard of the Matterhorn in Switzerland?
No.
So it's called the Matterhorn of the Rockies. And so, just kind of cool. I like that question. Thank you. I love the geology and the land formations around here. So it's pretty special. So that was awesome. Thanks. Oh, one more thing. This is a cool rock. It's a conglomerate rock. So it was found by the glacier. So basically it's a whole bunch of little rocks that get cemented together and form one big rock.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. All right.
Okay.
Next
You have
time.
number 11. Yep, so you ask all three.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. What kinds of foods do you eat? Do you have any different foods?
So a lot of the same kind of foods, but a few different staples. We have poutine, which does anyone know what poutine is? Oh, Pierogi, whoever guessed that, that was a good guess. We do have a lot of pierogies, but it's potato, it's French fries with gravy on it, basically.
Oh my gosh, I'm moving to Canada.
I'm coming to your house.
You're all invited anytime. Field trip.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's all I could really think of for food. There's a lot of the same kind of restaurants like McDonald's and Subway and.
Pizza Ranch?
Pardon?
Is there Pizza Ranch there?
No, there's not Pizza Ranch actually.
No.
Okay. Who's got number 12?
Hi,
Okay.
I'm Wyatt.
Hi Wyatt.
Do you have a president, and how do your elections and governments work?
So we don't have a president. We have a prime minister. But to back it up a little bit, Canada is a constitutional monarchy. So we're actually under Queen Elizabeth in Britain. So she's like the head of state is the official term. Politics isn't exactly my domain of knowledge, but I'll try to explain the best. So Queen Elizabeth, and then you have the Senate, and then you have the House of Commons. And I believe the Prime Minister is the leader of that and of the country. So we have, does anyone know the Prime Minister of Canada right now?
That's a no.
Well, that's good. No problem. This is why we talk. So the Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau, and he has been in office now about 1 year. And before him, does anyone know who the Prime Minister was? I'm sure you do.
Oh.
He was in office for about 12 years.
I saw it on the TV or something. TV or something.
Can I say, you remember Stephen Harper?
Oh, no.
So it's different. So when I say our, but in the U.S., when they have elections, it's every 4 years. But in Canada, I believe it's set for every 5 years. But at any point, I believe the Prime Minister can call for like a re-election, and if they feel like it's necessary, and then they can duke it out. So they have different parties too. They have the Liberals, Conservatives, Green Party, and a few others. So they don't just have like two Democrats, Republicans. They have like a few different parties. So it makes it harder to get a majority to win, if you think about that too. I think that's all I had for that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Who's got
Hi, I'm Jaden. I have like 3 questions here on one sheet. So,
Okay.
what's your climate like?
Okay.
Do you have a lot of rainfall? And how much snow do you get?
Okay. So our climate, let's see, is very, it varies a lot. So in the morning, I find the temperature fluctuates about 30 degrees a day. Like in the morning, it can be freezing cold. In the afternoon, it's like really nice. Summer is somewhat non-existent. I feel like here a little bit. But some days do get up to maybe 80s, and we get like 5 days of that. Other than that, it's pretty kind of just moderate, which is nice, I guess. So we're also in Celsius. So have you guys heard of Celsius or centigrade?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like to convert it, if you think of a 10 degree Celsius day, you double it. So if we want to get Fahrenheit, this is how you do it. So what's 10 plus 10?
20.
20. And then what's 0 degrees Fahrenheit?
0.
32,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So then you take 20 plus 32 to get 52. So 10 degrees Celsius is 52 degrees Fahrenheit.
So just double it and add 32?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good job. So that's kind of interesting. So right now we're sitting at about maybe 2 degrees. I think we're actually supposed to get snow today. So we'll see. Pardon?
36 degrees?
36.
Fahrenheit, or
Like what?
Oh, yeah. Did he just do it? If it's about 6, 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did it. Good job. Awesome. And we got a lot of rain actually this year. Yeah, we got quite a bit of rain actually. I don't know how much it was recorded, but yeah, no flooding this year. We had a flood 3 years ago, and it flooded the whole city. And especially with like the snow melting from the mountains in conjunction with the rainfall was a bit much because our city's like right on the river. Let's try to find a picture. Yeah. So, and then as far as snowfall, I Googled this one. I was curious. So we had 128 centimeters last year. So that in inches is 50.7 inches. So that's quite a bit of snow. I don't have any. No. Yeah. So, oh yeah, and I was just for curious sake gonna look. Average yearly snowfall. The one that got the most snow was Ontario. They got 62 inches, but yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So, but that's good because you and I like to go skiing in the mountains, and so the more snow, the better. Then it's like skiing on powdered sugar. Yeah. We say sweet cherry pow pow.
Alright, good. 14.
Hi, I'm Zach, and what kind of animals do you have in Canada that we don't have in Iowa?
Animals, we have, let's see, we have, most of the animals that I'm going to refer to now are in our mountain ranges. So we have black bears and grizzly bears and wolves. So the other night, Theo and I were camping, and I woke up to a wolf pack howling across the lake. Like, you could, like, picture them running because it was such a vivid sound of, like, you could just, like, picture the wolf pack running. It was incredible, and it kind of echoed across the lake. It was eerie, but it was, like, very beautiful. But I was scared because I was in a tent. And so, and then we also have moose, which are pretty amazing. I haven't seen any this year. But yeah, so the male moose have the rack, and then the lady doesn't. But yeah, they're huge creatures, beautiful. Coyotes. In the actual town of Calgary, we have coyotes, and we have a lot of snowshoe hares, snowshoe rabbits. And it's cool because in the summer, they'll be like brown, and in the winter, they're all white. So that's kind of cool. That might be about it for animals. Cougars, there are some in the mountains too, but you never see them. They'll probably see you, but we don't see them.
That's our logo. Yeah, our school mascot is the Cougars.
Oh, nice! Go Cougars!
Yeah! Alright, good. Okay, 15, who's 15? We're kind of keep things moving here. Go ahead, Will.
Alright. My name is Will, cool guy in the red jacket. What sports do you have?
Canada's national sport is lacrosse, even though we all think it's hockey. A lot of people grow up playing hockey. Yeah, football, they have the Canadian Football League, but even Canadians kind of make fun of it themselves because they're like, oh, it's nothing compared to like the U.S.'s college football. They all like to watch like at the NFL or college football. Like they're just shocked like by the difference in the intensity of the game and the skill in the American game. Ski, and then for winter sports, you have skiing and snowboarding and cross-country skiing and ice climbing. I got into ice climbing, which is basically climbing up a frozen waterfall with ice picks, and then you put crampons on your boots. And I wish I could show you, but I'm not at my house today. I'm at my in-laws' house because we're celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving on Monday.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, there's a lot of sports here, a lot of the same, but a little bit modified, I guess.
Do you have trap shooting?
I didn't know what that was.
What?
It's you shoot like pigeons.
Oh, fun! I never knew that's what it's called. Yeah, they have trap shooting. Yeah, we have some friends. We have some friends we have some friends who like to go hunting, and they love it, and we've gotten to eat some of their like the meat that they caught. It's amazing, and I practice shooting a bow and arrow. That's so hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
I couldn't even like hit the tree stump target. Like, just it was gone.
I did that too.
Yeah.
Okay. 16.
It's me again, Wyatt.
Okay.
Can you hunt where you live? And if so, what do people hunt?
Yeah, so I think it's the same kind of things. You have to get like the hunting license and regulations and whatnot. And people hunt mostly deer or like, deer, I would say, and prairie chickens.
Are those pheasants?
Pheasants, yeah, like
Favorite thing you just said.
Sorry.
Do you hunt
Yeah.
bears where you live?
No, you can't hunt bears. No, anything like that is like protected through the National Wildlife Conservation.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, 17.
Hi, my name is Zactarian Morin. What's Canada's oldest monument and where is it located?
Yeah, I asked my husband this, and I didn't have time to Google this one, but and that's another thing. I don't know that one. But he was guessing Parliament Hill. So in Ottawa, excuse me, in Ottawa they have where the House of Commons and their government building is. They have a statue there. But I don't know. Maybe I could Google it. Sorry, I didn't have that one.
No, it's okay. I didn't exactly get these to you very timely.
Well, we arranged this really spontaneously,
I know we
which
did.
worked out really well.
Ah,
Yeah, they don't really have, not like in the States, like we have the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial. They don't have a lot of that kind of stuff. Like, I'm sure they do around, but I just I'm not as aware of it. And yeah, sorry about that. I could maybe use, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Maybe I'll Google it and send it to Megan later or something.
okay, that's fine. Totally. We're gonna kind of skip a few because we only have about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So I know. Some of you guys are disappointed. I get it.
No,
Okay, we're gonna go to number 20. So whoever has 20.
Exactly. What is the population in your area?
So the population of Canada is 35 million, and the population of Calgary is 1 million.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Dude,
What?
35. Big.
Good. Okay. 21.
What kinds of crops are grown in your area? Oh, it's Carter, by the way. And is vegetation plentiful in your area?
I didn't hear the second part of your question. What?
Is vegetation plentiful in your area?
Yeah, so primarily the crops grown here, let me think. Canola, for like canola oil, which is like vegetable oil. And let's see, what else? Wow, I am drawing a blank if there is.
Do they have a lot of vineyards by where you live?
Yeah, there's a few vineyards. So if you go like between Vancouver and Calgary, they call it the Okanagan, and it's a really interesting climate because it's a lot warmer and it's kind of like a not a rainforest, but it's really lush, and that's where they grow a lot of fruits. And they also have vineyards there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's hard. The growing season here is just so short, like because summer's only from like end of June till August. It's hard to even have little gardens, but people do, and they grow like raspberries and a lot of like root vegetables like beets and carrots and potatoes.
Alright.
But Canada's main industry then, I don't know if that's a question later, is more like in oil and gas kind of thing. Less so in the like food production side of things.
Alright. 24. Hopping down to 24.
Hi, it's Jenna. And what are the schools like?
Schools. There's a lot of different schools. It's interesting. The private schools are somewhat, I think, funded through the government, so that's a bit different. And they also have, they go K through 9 is grade school, and then high school is grade 10, 11, and 12. And they call it grade 10, 11, and 12, not freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So that's a little bit different. And some schools are only French, so they call it French immersion schools, and that's where the kids learn both French and English. Yeah.
So they learn like the same subjects as what we do?
Yeah, primarily learning the same subjects, same kind of curriculum, just they can do it in French too.
Cool. Very cool. And then
Yeah.
probably our last one here is number 26.
Oh, we're only one with 27.
You guys have so many good questions. I'm sorry to talk too much.
I'm Hayden.
Anybody have 26?
What's your healthcare like? Is it free? If so, do you agree with that decision?
Oh, that's a good question. I wish that my husband was here because he's more in the healthcare. So, well, I will be soon, but so we have universal health care here. So it means if you're a Canadian resident, so even me as a permanent resident, I get access to health care. So one time I sprained my ankle, and you go in and show them your health care card, and you don't have to pay anything because it's not private like in the States. So that is really nice. That's awesome. And yeah, my husband can explain it better, but the downside is if you're waiting for like an MRI or a really expensive procedure, it could take you months and months and months to get that based on your severity of your injury. So if your injury is not very severe, you could be waiting 6 months to receive surgery. Whereas in the States, if you wanted it, you could pay for it and get it right away. But then you have to pay for it. So it's tricky. Ongoing thing, I know. Yeah.
Good. Okay, well the bell's about to ring here, guys. Okay,
Darn it, don't leave!
And you know what? If we didn't get to your question, maybe put those on my desk. The rest of you can throw the others away, and then I can email Liz and say, hey, if you have time, maybe she can answer those and I can read in class someday. Right? Now hold on, 7th grade. Hold on. On the board, it's answer a question on Google Classroom. I will post this on Google Classroom tonight, but there's a question. What was something that you learned about Canada today from our visit with Liz? So answer that by Tuesday, okay? Thank you, Liz.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Thanks for being cool.
Have you ever had Canadian bacon? Have you ever had Canadian bacon?
Yes, I think so. Hi.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I always love that we do this.
I know.
Your classes are so great.
Oh, they're fun. They're a bunch of fun kids.
Yeah.
They're chatty, but they're fun.
Yeah, I can tell that. I can tell that.
Yeah, we had a little come to Jesus moment this morning. Okay, if we can't handle it, sorry. So.
Because they were so excited.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So
cute.
yeah. So this afternoon it'll probably be 1:45 before.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be 12:45 your time. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That sounds good. We'll see you then.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Again.